I don't know, not uh, not long ago about what are the key elements of a website. Was that yours, or am I misattributing?
Who did you say, sir?
Tim Lucas.
No, I don't think I asked that question, but I'd be happy to hear
Oh,
the answer anyway.
oh, well, well, somebody did. I
Who
guess
was
I
I,
didn't.
sir?
Who was that?
Joe Lanning.
Oh,
Oh, Joe. Okay, okay, perfect, perfect. Um, Joe, I had given you a very brief answer to a very long and complicated question. Um, was there one specific thing you were trying to figure out? If not, we can go through a more thorough. I am going to more or less when we get done with the meeting, upload about a 10-page report on things you need to focus on and worry about your website. But was there something very specifically, Joe?
No, it's like my said. It's just what are good key elements for a good capturing and high keeping website.
yeah, you're breaking
Oh,
up.
okay, okay, and you or I has a bit of a connection problem. Let's talk about that. This has been one of James's projects. I know several people have a project focused on your website, search optimization, and so forth. And let me, having been, I don't know, I'm in the top three in the martial arts industry of people who have done deep dive on this, going all the way back to I forget Master Smith. Looking at that first book I wrote in 1999, and I think the book in 1999 on how to use the internet to market your martial arts school. Well, I know it was in the age of Alta Vista. Most of you are too young to remember that there ever was such a thing as Alta Vista. Yahoo was a very highly trafficked directory. It wasn't a search site to speak of. And the only paid option became GoTo, which turned into Overture, which is where Google stole its monetization formula from. And so this is all pre-Google. But in the current environment with your website, the first thing I would caution everybody about is that when you run a martial arts school, and you're at the school from, I'm going to say, our rule of thumb was always 3 until 9. Um, at 3 o'clock, we were prepping for the evening. We were reviewing who was coming in. We were doing confirmation calls. Starting by 4 o'clock in most days, we had classes going on and classes going back to back until 8:30 or 9, even 9:30. And then before anybody left the school, it had to be spotless. So the mirrors were clean. If you have mirrors, the masks were clean. The front door, no fingerprints, any of that kind of stuff. And all the paperwork, ID cards refiled, data entry done, new agreements set up for billing, et cetera. All that stuff done before leaving the school. And Master Smith and I, in our history with franchising, and then in parallel coaching, and now pretty much exclusively with coaching, is what we have found is school owner who shows up at the school at 10 a.m. and sits in front of a computer all day and putzes around with their online marketing is the one that's broke. The ones that are making money are using that time to go out and in the school year talk to principals, talk to PE teachers, talk to PTA, PTO, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or they're out talking to during the summer camps, swimming pool operators, Boy Scout leaders, Girl Scout leaders, et cetera. If you're considering what's going to make you money running your school, you spend all day out marketing your school physically, post parasite type of things, working with organizations and groups in your community. And then in the evening, you're face to face, belly to belly with students, which is creating enrollments, creating renewals, creating referrals. And what you don't want to do is get sucked into spending a tremendous amount of time online. And whether that's, if you spend any time at all watching, TikTok reels and YouTube reels and Facebook reels and all that stuff, or if you're online arguing on X or Facebook, you're just wasting your time. And if that's what is relaxing to you on Sunday evening rather than watching Netflix, go right ahead. But other than that, what you do have to do is caution yourself that spending a lot of time mastering, how to market and advertise on social media, or how to market and advertise on websites, doing it yourself is something that you can get sucked into hours and hours and hours and miss the key component, which is if more than about a third of your enrollment traffic is coming from online sources, you're missing all of the referral traffic you could be generating. And that's especially true if you're 150, 200, 250, 300 or more students. And you're missing all of the external outreach that you should be doing. As far as what the website should do, Joe, and this was part of my answer already, is you really need to think of it as several components. One component is, how do I get Google and the other search engines to find you, right? And I don't know what the percentage is today, but let's say that usually Google's like 85% of search traffic, so it's the 800-pound gorilla. So when we say Google, we're also referring to what DuckDuckGo, and the number two is Bing, and whatever the other search engines are nowadays. But really, Google is so dominant, we're focused on Google. So one element is getting found in your local market when somebody is out actively searching for traffic. The elements of that, and I'll post a lot of this stuff in that report that I'm going to put up online, but if you start with the most important thing is get lots of 5-star Google reviews. And when you get the occasional person who's either one of your competitors who wants to, harm your business, or it's legitimately somebody who's mad at you, when you get a low review, you've got to make sure you have 4 or 5 positive reviews to offset that. But I always start with that, getting that Google business page where you've got lots of pictures, lots of videos, 100 5-star reviews. All of that is crucial to building that search and that web presence. Number 2 on that is make sure name, phone number, physical address, all the details of your business match across all those platforms. And that's a mistake people will make, is they'll have the name and the address on the Google business page and on their website be different. They'll have the same thing happen across other platforms, and then that confuses search, and Google doesn't realize that it's all you, right? So that's the second element. As far as the actual website, and I'm not going to get into all the technical components of meta tags and all that kind of stuff, but suffice it to say, you want to have a website that's set up and unique, not a template site. And you want to have a website where the technical setup, the behind the scenes descriptions and all that stuff, but the structure of the site is attractive to the search engines. We could spend 30 minutes on that, but I won't. But then what gets Google to find your site is keywords that match search. Keywords, used to be easy. It was judo in the 60s. It was karate in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. Then it was